don't care.
Say wherever.
How about here?
Sounds great.
How's that camera work?
All right, I'm Elsie from the Santa Barbara Middle School Teen Press.
And I'm Teya.
I'm John.
We're here with...
You want me to talk like this?
Talk like that?
John PALMINTERI.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry I have a hoarse voice. Went to a basketball game last night and screamed.
What advice do you have for people our age, kids who are getting into journalism?
Be very curious. Be very aware of things outside of the normal. Be on time. Be honorable to the credibility of journalism. Don't be swayed by people that these days that might say negative things about reporters, reporting, gathering facts, telling stories. Stay strong. Be gutsy. Be fearless. Be ready. Have all your equipment ready. Have your preparation ready. Be a leader. Come to a news meeting with many story ideas. Want me to keep going? I'm good like this.
Thank you.
Because if you don't do even one of those, you will find that will damage your ultimate goal of doing a good job. If you're not ready, if your equipment's not ready, if you're not curious enough, if you're not knowledgeable enough about what you're going to walk into, your product won't be as good. You'll be chasing that. You'll be going back to try and figure out what is you didn't understand or why it didn't get you to that point of the story to be able to further it. You know, that type of thing. You want to make sure all those things are ready daily.
Thank you.
Our school's theme this year is the power of story, yours, theirs, ours. What do you believe the power of story is, especially in journalism?
Just telling the story that the person you're interviewing has deeper than you might think. It's a story you don't know anyway, generally. You might know something about the person you're interviewing, but there's so many layers down there. The hardest part is summing it up. How do you make it fit? You know, there was it's taught, you know, you do the who, what, when, where, why, how, or the reverse pyramid. But sometimes storytelling just comes in with an emotional line. You can start a story, you know, with all the facts in a big paragraph, and it's pretty meaty. Or you can just start with, you know, it was a terrible day from the moment they got out of bed. Because, you know, it had been raining all night and there was water all over their property and they didn't expect it. You know, you can start with an emotional line. And that, to me, is gripping. It's like, what's going on here? And I will not stop reading. But you could also write that like, you know, there was a big storm last night. It rained really hard. Many homes flooded, including this address. That's true. It is the story, but it's not the same of, you know, they woke up with water all in their house. Like, whoa, I'm interested in that. And so you can come at a story that way. I call those tools in a toolbox. It's a cliche, but it's a choice about how I'm going to tell this story. And think of it. Don't be afraid to come at that. It may not be maybe what you're taught exactly, but it works. And you'll see that in writings. You'll see that in newspaper writing, and not so much in radio, but sometimes in TV I write that way. I don't write always a general summary open.
Thank you.
How makes sense?
Sort of, yeah.
You have to try it, and then when it clicks, okay, now I got that down. I'll try it another time.
How do you hold on to the stories that affect you the most after being exposed to so many?
Not very well. The older I get, the more it pains me to see people lose their possessions or the things that were good, you know, have been changed. So I kind of, maybe that it hurts me, but it also helps me tell the story because I'm more, you know, a little more emotionally invested while still trying to be as neutral as possible, if I can say that. You got to have you got to move the needle a little bit so that you have some feelings. You can't be so neutral that you're like, oh, I'm not going to be so affected by this either way. It's okay to be affected by it because you can communicate with more people when you feel compassionate about the fact that they have a story to tell and you understand it, or you're feeling what they're feeling. And it could be, trust me, it's not all about bad things. When I cover Fiesta, I'm gushing. I love Fiesta, and I love celebrations, and I love solstice, and I love the film festival, and I love the avocado festival, and I have a lot of fun there. But at the same time, I've covered an event where something bad happens the same day or the same week. I've covered the Fiesta when we have massive brush fire going on, and all hell's breaking loose. Yet I'm out there wearing a sombrero on State Street for a parade. Then I put on a fire jacket and go to the backcountry. But I get invested. I know you're asking about how does it affect me. That's really weird in your mind. Nobody grew up thinking that was going to be their day. But over the years, I tell more. When I tell the stories of what I've seen over the years, I try to tell the exciting, fun stuff and be gentle on how I tell the bad stuff to see who I'm talking to. It's not dinner table conversation sometimes. But at the same time, I've been able to meet probably 5 or 6 presidents that have come through here, believe it or not. It's kind of bizarre, I'm trying to say that I'm still young, but I go all the way back to when Ronald Reagan was president here, and I got to meet him several times. And how cool is that as a young journalist? And in this day and age, you guys get to meet, in this case, movie stars, which at your age, which I never did, and most people don't. So the answer to this question starts with you guys today, or with this chapter, and someday, 20 or 30 years down, if you're a journalist, someone's going to ask you, wow, you've gone through a lot. What do you remember? How does it affect you?
Thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome. Anytime.